Alright, so now at this point, I'm going to actually start a new game and show you guys kind of how the game works from the beginning and give you guys some tips on how to play the way you want to play, I guess. So first of all, when you start, you're going to get a background for your character, and you get to pick who your father was. And basically, these choices are going to give you your initial skills. So, let's see, why don't I go, let's see, you can pick different things. I'm going to go ahead and say that my father was a veteran warrior. And so if I pick that, then I'm probably going to have more battle skills to start off with. Whereas if I do, for instance, a merchant, I'm going to have improved trading skills when I start off with. If I'm a steppe nomad, I'm going to have more riding skills. If I'm a hunter, I'm going to have more bow skills probably, or something along those lines. I don't know exactly what it is. There's guides online that tell you exactly what skills, but I think it's kind of even more fun to just say, alright, well, let's see what I come up with. So let's go with veteran warrior, and then after growing up under my father as a veteran warrior, I decided to become a street urchin. There we go. That was my living growing up, and after that, oh, and then when I did grow up, I took up the profession of being a troubadour. That sounds fun. And now I've wandered off into the world because I want money and power, less for money and power. So all those different decisions just gave me my initial skills that I'm going to start off with. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and make this character not realistic mode so that I can go back and show you stuff if I need to. Let's go for a name here. This is actually the second time I've tried to do this. I was rambling an awful lot the first time, so I'm trying it again. So let's go for a good name. Let's try Slayer's Boxer. There we go. Very good name for a knight, I'm sure. So now I get to pick my initial starting skills and such, and this is where the strategy also already starts as to which way you want to take your character, because there's a few different ways you can go. You can either start pumping most of your skills into your battle skills, and then you'll be better off in the battles themselves. Or you can put your skills into your infrastructure skills, basically, that are going to do more for this, things like that. So, for instance, I start off with 3 leadership, so that's actually pretty good to start off with leadership. Because of the things that I picked. And so, let's see. So, yeah, since my father was a veteran warrior, I start off with a little bit of battle skills here. Since maybe because I picked, I don't remember I said I was a street urchin, so I have some pathfinding and spotting, some sneaky little skills, that kind of thing. And then, I guess because I was a troubadour, I have some leadership. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, so here's the strategy that you guys need to think about when you're starting up your new character is almost all of these skills you can gain from your other heroes that are going to be in your party. So basically anything that says personal skill, those are going to apply to you in battle. And anything that says party skill, though, oh, and then leader skill also. Where does one of them says leader skill? Here we go. So prisoner management is a leader skill, and that's also something that only applies to you. Everything else, engineering, first aid, surgery, wound treatment, all of these are things that you can actually pawn off those skills to other heroes that you can gain as part of your adventuring. And so it's actually much better to just focus on the skills that only you can have, because you might as well pawn off these other skills to other characters. So you don't have to waste your own attribute points. It makes it difficult because sometimes the other characters will leave your party if they're dissatisfied with the way you're running things. But it's going to be a lot better off in the long run, because eventually skill points get really scarce, and you don't want to waste those skills on things that you can have from characters in the game. So prisoner management, persuasion, leadership are pretty much the 3 that you would want to think about doing for your own character. The rest of these you can do have other characters do for you. And then of course, so you want to either focus on those, or you want to focus on your battle skills if you really just want to be good in battle. So this character, I'm going to try and spread things around a little bit. So I've got a bunch of leadership to start off with, actually, so I'm not going to put any points into leadership right now. Prisoner management is charisma based, so I have 9 charisma already. So I'm actually going to put a couple points into that so I can capture prisoners. And then the rest of my points I'm actually going to pump into strength and a little bit of agility. And we'll just go with one more strength, I guess, since you need to put all my skills in there. And these skills are dependent on what strength you have. So for every 3 agility, you can put 1 point into an agility skill. So because I have 9, that means I can actually put 3 into my into these skills right here. So because I have strength 10, I can again put 3 into these strength-based skills like Power Strike, which gives me extra melee damage. And let's see, let's put a little bit more into shield. Let's have shield skills in this game. And then you're also given weapon points that you can pump into your various weapon types. And that increases your accuracy and your damage of those different kinds of weapons. So if you focus completely on one-handed weapons, you can eventually get very, very powerful with one-handed weapons. But if I have 15 archery, I can barely pick up a bow. And if I try and use that in a battle, I will have no accuracy at all, and I won't be able to do any damage at all, and it'll be very, very difficult to use that bow. So that is pretty much what you want to think about when you're starting your character. Skip most of these middle skills that are party skills and go for personal skills and leader skills, because those are the ones that only that you can have, and you can use extra heroes as to get the other skills. So let's go ahead and pick my character's face here, and let's look for someone hardcore. I'm just hitting randomize. Was a good one. I skipped it though. Well, let's look a little bit more. And just looking for one that's kind of cool. Looking for a good beard. That guy has a good beard on him. Kind of funny looking eyes, but oh well. Let's go with this guy. We'll say done, and go out into the world. And then you start off here. The first thing you want to do, you're going to start off next to one of those training fields. Good idea to go to the training field because it's going to give me some basic noob tips when you first start. Then you can speak with the trainer, and especially if you're new, you can do some practice fights and learn how things work. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do some practice fights. And practice fights are good to do even if you're new to you've played the game before, because you play through the practice fights and you get a free level to start off with. So it's good to get a good quick level at the beginning of the game so that you have level 2 when you start adventuring out into the world. Just a little bit of an edge. So anyway, I'm not going to make you guys watch all of these silly practice fights, but let's go ahead and pick up at the end of my practice fights, and we'll talk a little bit more about how to start the game. Alright, so I just beat all the practice fights, and now I got level 2 from that, so it's good, just handy to start off with that, even if you think you know what you're doing. So then basically when you get out of here, the first thing you want to do, you're going to have almost no money. And the first thing you're going to do is try to find some lackeys. So I'm going to go to the first town I see, and I'm moving very fast because I have a horse, and you're actually faster when you have more horses in your party. I'm going to recruit volunteers and get a couple of recruits to join up with me. Now, actually, something I should do because I got that level is I'm going to go into my characters, and I usually like to start off, even though I say you want to put, mostly your personal skills in, trainer is actually the only personal skill that works for all of your heroes. So if you have multiple heroes with a training ability, then they'll all count. I'm actually going to put another point in trainer early on, because what that's going to do is it's going to level up my army a little bit faster. It's handy. It's sometimes handy to do that early on. Your army also does get experience from battles and stuff, so it's kind of a you don't have to do it if you don't want to. So you can still go with what I was saying before about making sure you only put your skills into skills that you can use. I'm just going to go ahead and do that since it's the beginning of the game. And then, so once you have a few troops, I'd probably go to another couple towns and try and get some more troops. But that when you want to, I'm being followed by looters. Actually, I could probably kill these looters off pretty easily. Sea Raiders are actually good early kills to do because they have usually pretty good armor and stuff on them. So if you can kill some early Sea Raiders, you're going to be in good shape. But what I'm going to try and do is go to the town. We'll see if the Sea Raiders catch up to me. Nope. I'm going to try to go to the town And because the first thing you want to try and do is try and find some cohorts. There we go. So here's another hero, Borcha. I'm going to talk to him and see if I can get him to join my party. Let's see if he makes me pay him though. Yeah, he wants me to pay him money, so I can't afford to hire him. But then if I have him in my party, I can actually go ahead and and assign him to some of those party skills. So actually, why don't I go ahead and go over to a different character and I'll show you that.